Welcome to another episode of StichMethod, Pabswa style. Pabswa. So just in case you don't know what Pabswa is, we just launched a video on Sean's channel.
Yep.
With the series Pabswa. Now, Sean here writes 50 more songs than I do per one song. And so we wanted to just talk about simple, implementable ideas to help people with their songwriting, from rhythm to chord structure to melodies, just simple ideas that are worth trying.
That we've ripped off from the greats.
Yeah, totally.
Just that we've noticed.
Yeah, that we noticed. That's exactly it. You know, I'm not trying to sound, rude or egotistical, but you and I have been doing YouTube and teaching guitar for a long time, so we listen to songs when we're teaching them. We look at songs with a little bit of a different eye, like, well, what can we use from this? And if we can make sense of it, then we teach it. So these are just our observations of things that we've captured that are intriguing, that might help you from playing the same chord progression over and over again.
And even me specifically, like I'll play these live shows where I play like 100 songs in a night. Yeah. And a lot of this stuff is just shortcuts I've learned to help me memorize songs or to change songs up to keep them interesting, less bland, and give the audience the Pabswa experience.
The Pabswa experience.
Right?
The way you say Pabswa is fantastic.
Pabswa?
That's so great. So, Sean, you are the special guest. What kind of idea do you have?
All right, so on the first video on my channel, Ian talks about using a dominant 7 chord that isn't technically in a key.
Right, it's on the third.
On the third chord.
So go watch that video on Sean's channel.
Right, so like if you're in the key of C, right? The third note in C, C, D, E. E is usually a minor chord. But if any time you want to go to like an A minor, hit him with the E7, even though that key isn't that song isn't technically in the key, to get to A minor, or to use it as a key change to A major.
That's exactly what we're talking about. Yeah.
So basically the first Pabswa was to use 7th chords as a way to push a chord progression in a certain direction.
Yes.
Okay?
But you have a different way, don't you?
I'm going to take it one step further.
I love it.
Okay? It involves augmented chords.
Oh, beautiful discussion.
A lot of questions I always hear about augmented chords, like, where do I even use these?
Yeah.
Like, here's an augmented chord. On its own, it's like, what's the use for that?
If you're a Fish fan, Gaiuti at the end.
Or the Beatles, Oh Darlin', or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, kill me with Oh Darlin'. Like, that's like, augmented. The Beatles.
The Beatles.
Right?
Well, there's more uses, aren't there?
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Loveful by the Cardigans is the perfect example of
Great
how to use
song.
an augmented chord to change keys in a Pabswa way.
From minor to major?
Right? Yeah.
Great.
Uh-huh.
Great.
So, again, basically the chord progression, the gist of it is like A minor. They kind of jam on A minor for a minute. And then once the song gets started, it's A minor to D minor to G13, which is essentially a way to get back to C. Right? That they're using a traditional dominant 7 chord, 13, G, C. Now we're going to make our way up the scale, D minor past what?
E augmented.
E augmented, and that's going to bring us to an A major, D, B minor, E. So now I'm just in the key of A.
A major.
Yep. And then, the great thing about it is the chorus is in A major, the verse is in like A minor.
A minor, yeah.
But the great thing about it is the perfect pivot point to go in between keys.
Yes.
Right when we go, let's go back in that song from the chorus to the verse, right? So we have love me, say that you love me. I don't care about anything but back to A minor. Here we go.
Fantastic.
So I think that's just a real world example of using an augmented chord as what you have talked about, the major third chord. You see that as also an opportunity to turn into an augmented chord.
Yes.
Easy to find, 2 whole steps away from whatever root you're in. So in C, it would be E. In G, it would be B augmented.
Absolutely.
Right?
And so, very good tip. And again, pause this video and try to write something or rewind it if we went too fast. I understand that because, this is all new concepts that might be foreign to you. You might know little bits and pieces.
Sure.
But take your time. The most, I guess, important part of this whole Pabswa series is for you to take the time to try and create something with what we just said.
Yeah.
I suggest doing it in a different key from what we demoed so that you can kind of own it, but go get your hands on it.
And again, if you do it, let us know how you did it, and you get a Pabswa blue ribbon.
Pabswa blue ribbon.
Real quick, last part about this is how to play it.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So if you're rooting on the A string, 7th fret on the A string is an E. Super easy, just staircase up.
Yeah.
Right? So 7A, 6D, 5G, getting that 5B.
Yeah, borrowing the
You
5.
kind of want, you don't need to. You can do it as just like a triad type thing.
Yeah.
But get that bar chord in there, it's worth it.
It is worth it. Well, very good tip.
Thank you.
All right, we're ready for Pabswap Part 2 of
Ooh,
Series 2
My
Pabswap.
favorite Pabswap tab.
Okay. This one's quite simple. I'm stealing it directly from the Beatles, and it's not anything that is mind-blowing, but I think people don't implement it enough, and if you do, it sounds good, which is changing your time signature. One of my students brought the song Taste of Honey, and in Taste of Honey, it goes from 3/4 in the verse to 4/4. And so I just want to show you that it, if you're playing with a drummer, you got to make sure they can handle it. But going from 3/4 to 4/4, I'm just going to play something very simply in the key of C, C, F, and G.
Okay.
And when I get to the chorus, I'm going to change. I'm going to use your tip from the first one.
Oh.
I'm going to go from G, F to
Oh,
C
there
for
we
my
go.
chorus. Okay, watch our first video.
Flat 7 major chord.
There it is. And so, I'm going to play it actually, the C, F, and G, I'm going to play in the waltz, the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. When you get to the chorus, you can get it into 4/4, and you're not going to notice anything bad, but it's a cool dynamic that makes people listen. It keeps your songwriting from being stale. And so here we go. We have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, chorus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, honey. You can hear it. You can hear where Ringo starts to pick up the pace.
Yeah.
It again, when you do it right, it doesn't sound too bad, and it's interesting. So just trying to change some time signatures. Don't go crazy with the time signatures.
I think the nice thing about that, as compared to like prog rock,
Yeah.
where
Oh,
like
yeah.
you're hearing the time signature change and it's jarring, it's that pab schwap.
Bab Schwab,
Right?
yeah.
The nice thing, that was a very gentle, peaceful way to change the dynamic of a song without like forcing it out
Right.
of you.
And the thing is, even if a drummer, and hopefully show this to your drummer, if they're just playing eighth notes, then you can change your keys, your timing on top of those eighth notes very easily, because
sure.
So try changing from 3/4 to 4/4 or 4/4 to 3/4, and I'm sure there's an Elliott Smith track that does it all the time. Maybe
I was my first St. Vincent.
Oh, St. Vincent.
Oh my gosh, Paris is Burning. Oh.
Yeah, well, there you go. And
Deep cut, but it's so good.
Worth listening to. So if you have a song that you find is stale, it's always the same thing, and you're kind of writing at the same tempo, try changing. Just like
There
that.
you go.
Very simply. So I hope you enjoyed Pabswa episode number 2. I think number 3 will be on your channel.
I think so. Let us know any questions you have.
Yeah.
And we'll give it the full pab
Pabswa Swap.
The full pab swap.
Pab swap.
We'll give it the pab
Full
swap.
Pab Swap.